Ethan Caldwell had everything a man could dream of. CEO of a tech empire, owner of 5 luxury homes, private jets, and a reputation for making billion-dollar deals before breakfast. But if you asked people what he was like, you'd hear one word again and again: arrogant. He didn't just believe in his success, he wore it like armor. He looked down on others who weren't as smart, driven, or disciplined as he claimed to be. Even his closest employees were afraid to speak their minds. If someone challenged him or offered a different perspective, they were dismissed instantly. But beneath the layers of control and wealth, something was unraveling. One morning, Ethan woke up with a sharp pain shooting down his right leg. He brushed it off. Probably slept wrong, he told himself. But within days, it got worse. Walking became difficult. Then running was out of the question. Soon, even standing was painful. He went to the finest doctors across New York, then Boston, then Europe. Countless MRIs, nerve studies, surgeries, all inconclusive. There's no clear cause, they told him. We suggest managing it with medication and physical therapy. Medication dulled the pain, but it never left. Ethan began to spiral. The man who once stood tall on boardroom tables during product launches was now struggling to climb stairs. He stopped showing up to meetings, stopped leaving the house. People whispered that maybe the king was losing his crown. But still, his pride was louder than his pain. He fired his driver, his cook, and even his assistant, claiming they were too nosy. Eventually, the only person who came to the house anymore was Lucas, the son of his former driver who helped with groceries or errands once in a while. Lucas was just 14. One rainy afternoon, Lucas arrived with groceries. Ethan was sitting in his usual armchair, legs elevated, scowling at the news. Lucas placed the bags on the counter, then hesitated for a moment. He walked up slowly and said, "Sir, you look like you're hurting." Ethan grunted. "Sharp observation, kid. You want a job in diagnostics?" Lucas didn't flinch. Instead, he looked down at Ethan's legs. More specifically, his shoes. "Those shoes look tight," Lucas said. "My dad once had shoes like that. They looked cool, but they hurt him like crazy." He switched to soft walking shoes, and boom, pain was gone. Ethan stared at the boy, half amused and half annoyed. "You think my billion-dollar problem is my damn shoes?" Lucas shrugged. "Maybe not. But you've tried everything else, right?" There was a pause. That night, for the first time in years, Ethan opened an old drawer and pulled out a pair of soft sneakers he'd bought on a whim during a business retreat. The next morning, he wore them. By mid-afternoon, he noticed something strange. The pain had eased. Skeptical, he wore them again the next day, then the next. And for the first time in months, he walked a full mile in the garden without wincing. The pain wasn't completely gone, but the difference was undeniable. Ethan sat on the garden bench that evening, staring at his shoes, then up at the sky. A 14-year-old boy had solved what the world's best doctors couldn't. And all because he dared to see what others overlooked. It hit Ethan like a punch to the gut. His entire life he had believed that status made someone smart, that money made someone right. That experience always outweighed simplicity. But now, a boy with no degrees, no boardrooms, no business cards, had just handed him peace. The problem was never just in his legs. It was in his mindset. The next morning, Ethan did something he hadn't done in years. He called his assistant, the one he fired 6 months ago, and said, "I'm sorry. I was wrong. Come back. I need your help rebuilding things the right way." He called Lucas, too, offered him a scholarship. Not because Lucas was poor, but because Lucas was brilliant. Ethan eventually returned to the public eye. But this time he was different. Softer, wiser, more patient. He started a mentorship foundation called Perspective Project, focused on teaching youth that the greatest intelligence isn't about data, it's about seeing the world through different eyes. He began hiring people not just from Ivy League schools, but also from local communities. He held listening circles with janitors and interns and cafeteria workers, asking for feedback on how his company could improve. And the man once known as the Iron CEO became the listening leader, all because one kid saw past the leather of a billionaire's shoe. Moral of the story: sometimes the solution to your biggest problem is right in front of you. But arrogance can blind you from seeing it. True wisdom isn't about what you know. It's about how open you are to seeing things differently.